Hey everybody, more about Great Healing. Got messages come through for all of us. Not been feeling the best today, so forgive the appearance. But when Spirit says it's time to share messages, sometimes that's exactly what you gotta do, because otherwise they're not gonna let you rest. I posted a message yesterday through my Facebook and on my TikTok side that talked about the Divine Masculine. This one is a little bit more for the feminine side to understand, but it definitely is for the two. That union is coming through strong on this, okay? Just remember, again, time is an illusion. When this resonates, it resonates. If it's not, then it's not a message for you. Take it as it comes. And again, I'm not licensed in anything. These are purely my own intuitions, my own guidance, and my own life path that has been coming through. So on that note, let's go ahead and hop on into this. We've got a grandmother of sorts, a spirit guide who is there looking over all of this. Okay. She wants to remind you that you guys are there and she's comforting you. Reach out when you need. There's two butterflies that are going through transformations. This is metamorphosis. We've been talking about this a lot. Definitely with the general energy readings that have been coming through lately. I want to remind you, this is a love. This is meant to, okay? It may not be quite ready yet, but it doesn't mean that you guys won't come back together, okay? Because there is definitely a union coming within. This is that divine, this is that pure masculine energy. This is Gaia in her purest of forms. This is a birth of sorts. This does not necessarily mean actual birth. This means a birth. So a birth of a new love, a birth of a new life path, things like that. We've got butterfly over here, or moth, whichever way you want to call it. Still, all goes hand in hand. It's still transformations. Got the dragon there sitting to remind them and to rekindle that flame, okay? So definitely could be twin flames on this. They want to remind us to have the courage to take the steps forward, to let our walls down, to open that heart chakra, because you guys will be whole again. Sorry guys, trying to get you better lighting. There we go. This is a rebirth. Can you just say that? This could be a rebirth. Okay. This is a rebirth of the two of you. You're starting to fall into alignment, in tune with these energies. This connection is starting to come back together of sorts. They're telling you to take action, not to be quite so defensive with that sword to cut it out, right? But definitely don't be afraid to face your shadows and to get rid of things that are not serving your greatest good. Because this needs to find a balance between the two of you to make this union happen. That means dropping our egos, okay? That means we have to drop the old hurts and things like that, so that way we can look beyond the surface. Because he may look like he's a jokester, he may look like he's a deceiver, but deep down, he would actually house that pure energy that we were just discussing. See that dragon? Do you recognize that face? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because when you look at it as a big picture, and you take everything we've just gone through and look at it in a way, a greeting card just slightly different, okay? You're tuning into this love for each other. You're actually understanding you both have this love for each other. You're trying to find a balance to make this happen. Being guided to take the action to make this union happen and to look beyond what you perceive to be, okay? To face the shadows within yourselves and within each other and within what you thought this was the first time through. Because again, a rebirth means that this could be two souls coming back together. Okay? To have the courage to allow this to take place, to operate within that pure energy, okay? That actual pure, deep love. This is where it's going to be a little bit more, and because there's a big old stack for the underlying energy that came through with all of this. But that's the main message, okay? So you can hear this is definitely discussing to the feminine where the masculine has been at and what's really going on, because the feminine are a lot wiser and more aware of what this is and the path that they've been going on. There's been signs and synchronicities like you would not believe with each other. Seeing repeating numbers, seeing things that remind you of each other. Could be like license plates. It could be like just any random moment, something that pops up that takes you back to that connection. It could be just repeating numbers. Things like that. You both are dreaming of each other. Both have been communicating from the dream realm, from the the astral plane. So you guys could be meeting there and actually trying to work through things. And now it might need to just figure out how to make that happen on the 3D plane. Again, this could also be within yourselves, but this one I really feel like this is actually a divine masculine feminine wanting to come together in this realm. Okay? I'm doing that soul spraying. Doing that, facing our shadows. Realizing that when we have rifts, it's not just a one-way street. Both sides have hands in it. It's just one person may have had enough and called it done, right? To remind you, as this comes through with these butterflies and these transformations, to nurture that, to allow this to happen, to stay balanced, to stay in that pure energy, because this new energy that's coming through for you guys is going to run differently. So again, you cannot run from the past mindsets, the past hurts. You're gonna have to stay in that sovereign, gentle energy, okay? You don't have to be the Queen of Swords and cut everything out. You need to step more into the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, operating from that softer side. Because you are definitely the Queen of Love and the Queen of Una. This is that Queen energy, okay? You know what you are. Now you need to embrace that. You've been going through your own sorts of transformations, finding your own wisdom, tapping into your own understandings, your own awakening. This could have been something that needed to happen so you both could finish up the growth that you needed to make this union actually happen, okay? Especially in twin flame journeys, that typically is very common. You meet each other, you spark, and you guys really try, really try, because you can't let each other go. But then eventually you have to separate, because that separation is what really helps to guide it. Brilliant solution. This is going to be speaking your truths. Okay? This is going to be finding easier ways to communicate. Remember to stay joyful. Let the emotions flow, but do not get lost in them. If you guys are really going to get through this, you need to actually talk through this. Talk through this. Okay? Just see that butterfly down there? It's a transformation. It's learning how to speak. That's that throat chakra clearing. The other one will be doing the emotional flow. Actually learning how to open up and communicate and express and drop the guard. It's this rebirth is bringing you back in as innocence. Dragon in the feminine. Okay. Dragon masculine. Makes sense? Because you're the chosen one. Chosen in space? He's telling you right there. I choose you. I want you. You and only you. It's only ever been you. I love your wild and pure energy. You are my light. You are what sparks me and makes me happy. Nothing's impossible. As I've had somebody tell me, impossible just means I am possible. Okay? It's all possible. There's nothing that is an impossibility. We are infinite beings. We are our own creators. It's what we choose to do that's going to make that happen. That includes the dragonflies. And there they are together, learning to fly with one another, becoming what they need. This is a heart chakra opening. In this one, you can see that little dragon's still small. He's still growing, but there's those transformation signs. While his feminine is already in that growing wise stage. So, we're going to say goodbye to the old ways and the old energies. Because as we do, we're going to have this bell ringing. You're going to hear bells. Or ringing in your ears. Things like that. Sorry, just kind of made a lot of sense in my own life lately. But you'll hear bells. It may not be like a jingle. It may just be like that ringing, that high-pitched ringing in your ear, okay? That's where the divine, your ancestors, all of them start communicating. It's where they're sending you messages, and those high-pitched frequencies make your ears ring, right? Guess who's talking with you? Those dragons, those masculine energies are talking and giving you guidance. You just gotta actually stop and hear. It's okay to place your boundaries and stay firm in those boundaries, okay? That's what's going to allow this to happen better. Again, this one is still trying to birth and grow into this. But he chooses you. You are his chosen one. Now it's just figuring out how to make that happen in this realm. You, because of whatever's transpired, have placed boundaries. Now they need to figure out and really listen. Okay? They need to become the sacred listeners and not listen with just to respond. This is that active listening. This is actually, talking, hearing each other fully, open mind, open heart, open soul, communication back and forth. That's what creates a really strong founding union, okay? And that doesn't mean just in like romance. That's any connection. You have to be able to have the conversations just like this. You don't have to yell. You don't have to scream. That doesn't typically go very well. That actually ends up making things a lot worse. You've been told to seek counsel with the crystals, okay? We talked about this yesterday, I'm pretty sure, in one of the readings. Crystal for hearts, great one, rose quartz, rhodonite, that's how you spray that one. Those both are really great for that, because you're healing, you're finishing up your soul contract of karma, and working through things, and getting to find your balance. And the masculine on his side, whatever he's up to right now, is doing the same thing. You guys are mirrors, okay? We're all one. We all can feel these energy shifts and changes. They can feel you just like you can feel them. There's a connection there. And that's what he wants to remind you. I know, we are one. I can feel that something's not right. And I want to make it better, but I don't know how yet. But give me time. Justice is going to prevail. There's going to be clarity coming through. Insights that you had not been aware of yet. Again, keep the energy light. You get too heavy, you get too distorted, you take that Queen of Swords and want to cut things. It's not going to do you any good. It's not going to do this rebirth do any good. This is dropping all of that. Staying in light energy, keeping the balance. If you notice you had scales. Okay? And remember, learning. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. There you go. Learning to love yourself and all that you are is going to allow this to happen. Your masculine has been seeking counsel with his wise elders. You may not realize it, again, because this is all within. This is all work done within. You are what you guys feed each other. You are what you feed yourselves. If you're feeding yourselves negativity, you're going to stay negative. If you're going to feed that loving, kind, nurturing energy, it can be a feast upon feast, but both parties have to do that together. That's a union. That's how that works. That's how that abundance flourishes. Okay? Don't fret. Time is an illusion, remember. Don't try to push it. Let it just flow. Alright, guys? Remember, it's coming. Don't force it. Embrace. Do what you need to do. Place your boundaries. You don't have to be mean and nasty about them, but you can definitely speak your truths. You can let your masculine know, and hopefully the masculine will figure it out. And when he is ready, and you are ready, you guys can come together. You can have those clear, open-hearted communications to be able to have this union come together, okay? Take a deep breath. You are each other's. Find that gentle energy to make it happen. Alright, guys. I'm going to head out. Like I said, I've not been feeling well, and this is about all I have left of me. So, as much love and light. Keep your heads up. Any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm here at any point to help give you any guidance, support, whatever you might need at that moment, okay? I've been through hell and back, and I know a lot of the other soul tribers too, and we would all love to be able to help you work your way through these things, okay? So, don't push, just let it flow, just like the waters. Water flows. If it crashes, it's not meant to be. You just keep flowing without water right now, okay? Again, heads up, love and light, and take care, you guys.